That sweet potato casserole that Grandma insists is a tradition and must be preserved, it isn't really tradition. It's century-old advertising for a marshmallow company. Sweet potatoes themselves have been part of American foodways for a really long time. Native folks roasted them whole over open flames, and enslaved Africans cooked them extensively in the South. But by the 1800s, sweet potato dishes were pretty common in American cookbooks, usually baked, mashed, candied, or topped with sugar, spices, and butter. Note, no marshmallows. Marshmallows originally came from the marshmallow plant that produced a sticky sap that was used in medicinal confections. Back in the day, to make a marshmallow was a really time-intensive and laborious process. So the early candies were luxury items that were reserved for wealthy households. But by the late 19th and early 20th centuries, American manufacturers had industrialized the process and removed the actual marshmallow and replaced it with gelatin. The result was a more uniform, inexpensive, and mass-manufactured product that really almost had nothing to do with the herbal ancestor. And once marshmallows were industrialized, candy companies had to get people to buy more of them. So they turned to the field of home economics, which at the time was kind of the corporate influencer pipeline. Women's magazines, domestic science schools, and branded recipe pamphlets became the way that industrial foods entered the middle-class household. See our video about green bean casserole. Marshmallow companies needed a gateway recipe, something that was comforting, familiar, and easy, but that would also use a lot of marshmallows. In 1917, Angelus Marshmallows, which eventually became Campfire, commissioned Janet McKenzie Hill, founder of the Boston Cooking School magazine, to write a booklet full of marshmallow-based recipes. And one of the first recipes was a mashed sweet potato casserole topped with marshmallows. And the reason that it made it into the book was not necessarily cultural and not because it was good, but because it looked pretty and it had a lot of marshmallows. That worked. Angelus kept releasing marshmallow cookbooks through the 1920s, circulated widely in women's magazines, which was a primary vehicle for shaping middle-class domestic ideals at the time. And by getting the home cook to not only make the recipe, but see it as a tradition that they made year after year, they were guaranteed sales, at least once a year. By the middle of the 20th century, marshmallow companies had done their job so well that magazines and cookbooks were reprinting the recipe for sweet potato casserole, as if it had always existed, and it was a shorthand for the classic American Thanksgiving. So, in a way, sweet potato casserole is one of the most American traditions. It's a century-old corporate invention that stuck so deeply in our national psyche that we now serve dessert as a side dish and call it history.